Let's dive into the discussions shaping the nation.
And protectionism, and it's not clear whether he's using tariffs just for crude political leverage or is a true trade war. It's also not clear if the traditional American guarantee to European defence is secure either. Given the consequent current economic and security instability and Ireland's unique exposure to the threat of tariffs, I'd like to ask the Tánaiste Minister for Foreign Affairs if he'd report on any discussions on the EU-US relations at the recent Foreign Affairs Council and if you'd make a statement on the matter. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Cian Corley, to Deputy Daly for the question. Congratulations to you on your election to this House, and I look forward to working constructively with you. This question is indeed timely because I think it's so important that at an EU level we work together in relation to how we approach that transatlantic relationship. The European Union and the US share a strong, mutually beneficial partnership. That was true before the US presidential election. It is equally true after the US presidential election. This is a relationship, a partnership, which for decades has underpinned global stability, sustainability and prosperity. The transatlantic relationship is essential and it must be supported by broad and robust institutional frameworks and by bipartisan engagement. I attended, as you alluded to, the Foreign Affairs Council meeting in Brussels on the 27th of January, during which ministers held a discussion on European Union relations with the US. While it was clear that some of the new US administration's policies will have a potentially challenging implication for the EU, it was agreed that we need to rigorously assess the impact of any actions by the US administration and work in a united way to engage as constructively as possible with the new administration. I really believe that the EU and the US are stronger and safer when they work together. Ministers did note that Europe is itself an economic heavyweight, but that the EU needs to improve its own competitiveness. And I really believe this. It's not the job of the European Union to just commentate on elections in other countries. Of course, we need to monitor that. But it's also our job to control what we can control. And the European Union is an economic heavyweight, but we do need to do more, I think, in terms of being competitive, being innovative, being responsive and agile. It is important to focus on the new US administration's actual policy decisions and their implications for Ireland and for the EU. For Ireland and for the EU, we will need in particular to focus on those factors that I've referenced that are within our control, such as investing in infrastructure to enhance our competitiveness. In addition to the discussions on EU-US relations at the Foreign Affairs Council last month, as you'll know, EU heads of state and government also discussed the issue at their formal retreat in Brussels on the 3rd of February. And an important focus in that discussion was on the need for EU unity, particularly in responding to any decision by the US administration to impose tariffs on EU goods or services.
Thank you, Tánaiste. And we have Deputy Daly wants a supplementary on this one. Was it? Deputy Daly first.
Yes, thank you for your answer, Tánaiste. I think it's absolutely critical for a country that is small as ours, with a small economy, but very much exposed to the tariffs come from the United States, or any change in economic climate affecting the United States and the European Union's relationship, that we work through the European Union and that we work through a very powerful economic bloc to advance our own interests. I thank you for your answer.
Thanks very much, Cian Corley. And I should say, since the discussion we had at the Foreign Affairs Council, of course, President Trump has announced his decision to implement tariffs of 25% on steel and aluminium imports to the United States, commencing in March. So I will tomorrow attend a virtual meeting of EU trade ministers, where ministers from all 27 member states, along with the European Commission, will discuss this development and consider appropriate responses. But Ireland's view, and indeed the EU's view, is really clear. Tariffs hurt businesses, they hurt consumers, they're not in the interests of the EU, they're not in the interests of Ireland, and we don't believe they're in the interests of the United States either. I agree with Deputy O'Leary, we do need to be prepared, but absolutely not alarmist or fatalistic. We've got to work our way through this. Donald Trump is the democratically elected president of the United States of America. He's going to be the president of the United States of America for 4 years. We've got to look at how we can respond and deal with the challenges and indeed seek opportunities where they can. I do take that point about having to be prepared to support businesses, particularly small and medium businesses, for any turbulence that may arise. And that indeed is one of the reasons we've established the Consultative Trade Forum, which I'll chair, is to bring them into the room to be able to engage with them on these
matters. Thank you, Tánaiste.
Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.